Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, whenever you're seeing this. Hello and welcome to the Daily Pulse. It's me, Jen Kohler, your host. I am here to talk about the energy of the day from a numerological perspective, but also just from a consciousness perspective. So I want to just dive in to what feels top of mind. If you're here live, let me know, say hello. And I would love to say hello back to you. So the energy today is a 7 energy with a 3 of spades contract. And that probably doesn't mean anything to you unless you are in my world of numerology, which it's a really growing field. It's a really exciting experience to watch numerology be growing in the world. Good morning, Michelle. So the 7 is this really fast moving energy, right? So we have this image of the chariot in the tarot, and there's this path in front of you, and it's very clear. It's asking you to have faith and to trust. Those are the main messages that I received from the 7 is it's this really highly spiritual experience of trusting in your higher self, of trusting in the universe, of God, of source, and really believing that that is true for you, right? And then we have this 3 of spades energy, this contract. And what we want to be doing with this contract energy is really living it to the highest, right? We want to clear whatever energy is showing up around the 3 of spades. So the 3 of spades can really be overwhelming. It can be an energy of anxiety, of overthinking, of being in the mind. And I'm a 3 of diamonds. So I really understand this 3 energy of this, sort of overwhelming thought. But we can shift it. We can shift that overwhelming thought into creativity, into creation. So I'll call it the cure for the anxiety, the cure for the overwhelm or the overthinking is to really just get creative with all of that thinking pattern, right? So if you can get into creation mode and using that 7 energy today, we can use that 7 energy to really get us into that trust, into that faith that we are the creator of our experience. So really tapping into that creative energy is going to be really important today. And then what do you do with it? Well, we're creators and we're here to put our work out into the world. We're here to put our creation out into the world. So the energy today is really asking you to have faith and trust that you are the creator of your experience and that the people who are meant to see you, the people who are meant to hear you are going to hear you. So that is the short of the 7 and the 3 of spades. So really tapping into that energy of go put yourself out there. So Michelle, I would love for you to tell me how that feels to you. How will you go and put yourself out into the world today? Because we need you. We need your message. We need the message of all of these beautiful healers and coaches and entrepreneurs that are out here in the world. So I invite us all to go and speak our message out into the world. Put your work out there. And then I have some more messages that are coming through, right? It feels so good. I love the energy today. It feels really beautiful. So one of the things that came up for me, I did a workshop yesterday in the Numerology Junkies, and we were really talking about value and worth and prosperity and what does it really mean to you, right? This is a theme that I'm really bringing into my work right now is what is prosperity? How does it feel in the body? What does it mean to you? How do you value yourself? How do you value you? Right. And recognizing that our value doesn't come from our bank account, our value doesn't actually equal the bank account. Right. And so this is a conversation that I've been having with lots of coaches and healers and entrepreneurs. So one of the things that came up for me today when I was meditating, with a card spread and really just thinking about what the energy feels like today is let people see the real you. And I know this message is for me because I am human and I'm an entrepreneur. And so, of course, these messages are for me as well. But not everyone is meant for you. And so, what this really helps me to see is that when I allow people to see the real me, when you allow people to see the real you, they can discern whether or not they are for you or you are for them, right? And we know through numerology that we are all uniquely coded to one another. And I know that I am speaking specifically to people who are meant to work with me, who are meant to hear my message. And so when I am more me, more and more and more and more me, and I show up as me, then those people can discern whether or not I am the correct person to work with. And so that message relates to you too. Recognizing that not everyone is for you, and that, excuse me, if you really truly believe that you are coded to work with certain people or to be with certain people in this world, it doesn't have to be about work, right? It just happens to be my thing, right? But that when we recognize that we are literally coded to each other. My husband and I, we have a very, very beautiful karmic relationship. And there were things that we needed to work out to make our relationship work really well. But I know without a shadow of a doubt that he and I are meant to work together in this lifetime. And that means through marriage, that meant through partnership, right? That means through aligning our values and our lives together. So, the next thing that came up in my reading for today was to go with the flow, be open to change, be open to adventure. Right. And this makes me really, I had so many conversations yesterday in my work. Um, Sundays are actually a really good day for me to work. So I work on Sundays, but go with the flow was like the main theme of this workshop yesterday. And it's really about understanding that when you are aligned with your own values and you allow the flow to move through you, what is blocking the flow, right? How are you blocking the flow of money, of energy, of time freedom, of whatever it is, right? X, Y, and Z. Are you open to change? Are you open to play? Are you open to going and adventuring? And whenever I think of the word adventure, it makes me think of how adventurous I was in my 20s. I was so adventurous, and really my whole life has been adventurous, but I really showed up in adventure in my 20s. I was single, I was traveling, I traveled all by myself all around the world. It's actually how I met my husband. And I know the reason that I met him was because I was so open. I was flowing with whatever wanted to come my way. I was in the adventure. I was in the play. I was present. I was in the moment. And that is so, I think it's so important for us to recognize that if something is feeling blocked or stagnant or stuck, you're not feeling free, it is a call for you to be open to shifting something. How can you do the opposite of what you've been doing, change it up and move into a more adventurous mode, right? Move into play, be like the child, right? And and I think that that is really important. This feeling of going with the flow and allowing that, if we're talking about prosperity, allow that prosperity to flow to you and through you, right? And then the next piece that came through in my reading was about leadership. And this is really an obstacle for a lot of people, including myself, right? I have been really working on leadership and going first and being that leading edge, conscious entrepreneur for a long time. Are you self-leading? Are you aligning with yourself? Are you aligning with yourself first and foremost? Or are you allowing yourself to just listen to other people's programming, listen to everyone else's words and ideas, and then take them on as your own? This is really a call to love yourself and develop self-love first and foremost, and to really learn how to align with yourself, right? This is what numerology also teaches, is that when we are in alignment with our contract, when we're alignment with who we really are, we really know ourselves and we really understand how we walk through the world. And then we know what our strengths are. We know why we're here. We know why we're here. We know what we want, and we know ourselves. Those are the three most important things that I can think of in really moving forward in entrepreneurship, right? And really in the world in general, just like as being a human, if we know ourselves, we know what we desire, we know what we want, and we know why we want it. It's really helpful in getting what we want, right? So, are you leading yourself first? This is really a call to go inward, align with self, align with your values, and lead yourself. It doesn't mean that you don't listen to other people. It doesn't mean that we don't have outside or external sources of information. It just means that you know who you are on the inside. You love yourself first and foremost. You know your internal landscape. You get who you are. It helps you to be very discerning when it is your turn to look outside of yourself for some support, right? And that is so important. The next piece is that we are not meant to do this alone. We're not here on this planet to be alone. So many of us are in a place where it feels good to be solitary. It feels good to be alone. I enjoy my own company. I like being alone. I like being by myself. I like to recharge. I like to lead myself. I want to lead myself, but I also need community. I am not here to do this by myself. And so being really discerning with who I have in my community, being really discerning about who I bring into my world is very important to me. And I know that I am the sum of the five people that I hang out with the most. So I am very discerning about who comes into my world. And, I've had lots of people come in and out of my experience, but I know that I am the one who gets to discern, right? So reach out for support. It doesn't mean that by self-leading, you don't reach out for support. It means that you understand yourself so well that when someone resonates with you, or you resonate with someone, when you're resonating with their energy, there's something there for you. And so knowing that we're not meant to do this alone, that we're meant to be in community. Humans desire to be in proximity with one another for a reason, because it brings us joy and it brings us more love, and it expands and amplifies the love that we already have for ourselves. So that is my call to action: is, are you reaching out for support after you have checked in with yourself? Are you in conscious community? Are you in community with people who make you feel really good, right? So my call to action would be, I would love for you to join our conscious community, the co-op. It is a beautiful space. It is full of beautiful energy work and people who are living an extraordinary life or building an extraordinary life. And we have Reiki practitioners, EFT practitioners, people who are influencers and are creating beautiful podcasts for the world. There are so many beautiful things, numerology, writing, so many beautiful things. So, and if you are ready to truly know yourself and you haven't received a blueprint from me, or from someone else in this community, I would love to go through your numbers with you, help you to really understand why you're here and what you're doing, and what does your path to possibility and prosperity really look like. So there's a blueprint that comes with that. It is a beautiful thing. And then we have a wait list right now for Embody Reiki, and we are starting that off with Mastering the Brain Game. You get Mastering the Brain Game when you sign up for Embody Reiki. It is a fabulous deal, number one. And number two, it is a beautiful body of information. It helps you to really learn how to self lead and you become a Reiki master. So, those are some things that I have coming up. I'm super excited about what is going on in my world. And I am excited about what's going on in your world. So, I would love for you to share in the comments what's happening for you, how you feel about the energy right now, where you need some support, where you need some love. And if you need any support from me, I'm here. I'm very accessible. You can always reach out to me on Messenger or, you know, all the other places. So thank you so much for being here live and on the replay. And I will see you again tomorrow.